Welcome back to another Viva episode. Today we're going to talk about the different types and elements of meditation to help you get started or get back on track. Welcome to the Viva Naturally channel, where we help you to manage your energy and health to boost performance. If you haven't already done so, go check out our first video of our meditation series, where I talk about what meditation is and its benefits. You just have to click on this little link up here. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and click on the little bell so that you get notified every time we post a new video every week. So first, we're going to talk about the types of meditation. And because we have quite a bit of content to cover, I have my notes here with me. So let's start with guided meditation, which is one of the most common forms, and it's really just starting to visualize things and using your imagination to portray or travel into a specific place that brings you calm and a soothing feeling. For example, picture yourself in what you will call your paradise. So you would picture, let's say if you like nature, so a beautiful nature scenery, and then you start to imagine the sounds of nature and how that makes you feel. So that type of visualization is what guided meditation is, and it sometimes is guided by an instructor, a coach, somebody who knows how to guide you. Their tone of voice is very important. But there's also recorded types of meditations via applications on your phone, or also there's many out there in the web that you can look for. But in essence, guided meditation is one of the easiest ways to get started, and is one way that I practice mine as well. Oh, one more thing about guided meditation before we move on. One key aspect is to use your senses. So while you're in this calming, soothing place, you start to not only use your sense of sight, even though you have your eyes closed maybe, but you also use your sense of smell, what you hear, how you feel. So you use all your senses, and that's really important to remember because it's like if you're really there present. Next is mantra meditation, which is essentially either a word, a phrase, or a thought that you repeat continuously. And anytime you feel a sense of anxiety, stress, or any type of emotion that you don't like, you remember this mantra, you repeat it in a silent way, and it takes you back into a peaceful state of mind, which is important, and it actually helps us when we're in the moment of these high stress situations. Next up is mindfulness meditation, and this is when you're being mindful. You have a higher sense of awareness of what's around you. You first start to notice how fast you're breathing, how often you're breathing, and sometimes you can even count the number of breaths you're taking. We breathe if we're alive, right? So we sometimes tend to forget or take it for granted, and when we're mindful of our breathing, we're able to be mindful of other things that happen into our lives. And I would also say that it's a good way to observe your thoughts and emotions, but let them pass without judgment. So when you're in that state of meditation, not only are you able to focus on that, on what's happening in that moment, but when you go back into your day-to-day lives, at work, and anywhere you are, it helps you get back into that state of mind. Okay? Now we're going to talk about a different type of meditation, which is Qigong, and this is a traditional Chinese medicine. It's actually practiced in Asia very often, but we're starting to see more of this practice over here in the United States and in the Americas and even in Europe. Essentially, it combines meditation, relaxation, and physical movements and breathing exercises to restore and maintain peace, inner peace. So it's not just sitting down and practicing mindfulness and guided meditation, which is what we've covered so far, or saying a mantra, but it's also doing physical movement. So it's not sedentary. It's a different type of meditation, definitely very affecting, and it's been proven by science also because it's part of Chinese medicine. And then speaking of Chinese, we have another type of Chinese meditation, and this is more towards the martial arts side, but it's a little bit more gentle martial arts, and it's called Tai Chi, and is where you perform a self-paced series of postures or movements in a slow, graceful manner while practicing deep breathing. So you may notice over the course of the different types of meditations that we've covered so far, all of them focus on breathing. So if you're doing movements or staying still, if you're sitting or if you're laying, you're still focusing on your breathing, and it's the best way to start off your meditation and end it as well. Last but not least, we have a very common type of meditation that is popular pretty much all around the world, and it's yoga. And there's so many types of yoga practices, instructors. It amazes to see how much it's evolved over the past decades. But essentially what yoga is a series of postures and controlled breathing exercises to promote a more flexible body and a calm mind. So it integrates the physical body with the mind, in addition to the Tai Chi and the Qigong. But in here, depending on the type of yoga, you can also get a physical activity done and a workout, depending on the intensity and how advanced or beginner level you are. So, I mean, check it out if you're interested. I think it's worth it. I've learned so much from it, and really it is what you put your mind into it. So give it a try. Now, before we go into the elements or the different features of meditation to help you meditate, I want to ask you something. Based on the different types of meditations that we've covered so far, what is your favorite? And if you haven't tried any of the ones that we've covered, what is one that you're interested in trying? Now that you've learned about them, what do you find more interesting? Is it the guided meditation? Is it the mantra, or maybe yoga, Tai Chi? I'm going to share mine. My personal favorite is a mixture of guided meditation and of mindfulness meditation. So I actually combine both of them, and I try to do them 5 times a week for 5 minutes. And it's worked. I've been doing meditation for the past 5 years, ironically the number 5. So I am interested in implementing the 2 different types of Chinese meditation, which is the Tai Chi and the Qigong. So I'm going to be looking more into that. I've been wanting to try martial arts for a long time, but in a very serious sense, by having an instructor guide me through it, not learning as I go or learning by myself. So I'll definitely probably do a video in the future on how to do that. But for now, I just wanted to share mine really quick, and I want to know what's yours. So if you want to share what your favorite type of meditation is, down in the comment section below, and just let us all share what we like and maybe motivate each other that way. All right, so now let's get into the elements or the features of meditations to help you get started. The first one is focused attention. And this is one of the most important parts of meditation, because if you're distracted and you are in a place where it's not easy to focus, it's hard to get into that mindfulness or that peaceful state of mind, as we like to call it. This focused meditation or focused attention essentially helps free your mind from any distractions that causes stress and worry to begin with. So when you're under stressful situations or when you're worried, you're able to focus your mind back on track to help you move on to the next task without having to worry for longer periods of time. You can focus your attention on things such as a specific object, an image, a sound, or a place. Like, for example, the first type of meditation that we talked about, which is guided meditation. That's a way to focus your attention on a specific object instead of having your thoughts wander off. Now, I just want to give you a quick tip, and it's that if you're practicing any type of meditation and your mind starts to wander, that's okay. That's part of the process. Do not be discouraged. No matter what level you are in, or no matter how many times you practice, it all depends on how you felt that day, how the previous day, how it was, and how you're feeling in the moment of meditation. So it's totally okay for your mind to wander, but when you focus your attention on it, it definitely helps you to get to the next level. Okay, the next element of meditation is relaxed breathing. And this involves deep, even pace breathing using the diaphragm muscle to expand your lungs. So essentially, there's a way for you to breathe in and out that will expand your diaphragm and allow you to captivate as much oxygen as possible and be aware of your breathing techniques. So because we talked about breathing and all of the different styles of meditation, it's important to know how to do it in the best way possible so that you get the most out of it. Next up is a quiet setting. This element is really important for beginners especially, because it's easy to get distracted if you have your television on in the background, if your cell phone is going off, if you have other distractions in the room or wherever you're doing your meditation practice. But the good news is that as you continue to practice and you get better, you get into a state of mind where you can do meditation no matter where you are. You can do this in the middle of Manhattan, in New York City, or whatever the noisiest places you can think of, and still be able to focus. That is actually a level of mastery that people have achieved, and it's admiring, it's impressive, to be honest, because that means that no matter where you are, not even in a situation that is external, but in an internal situation where you're probably going through struggles or stress or anxiety, you're able to get into that state of mind of relaxation. So that's really important. The next element of meditation is actually being in a comfortable position. And this is really important because you can do meditation while you're laying, while you're sitting, while you're standing, even while you're walking. But if you're uncomfortable and you don't focus on your posture, it's hard for you to get into a comfortable peace of mind internally as well. So just make sure that you're comfortable no matter where you are and what type of meditation you're doing. And now, last but not least, having an open attitude, being kind and loving to yourself, and most importantly, being patient through the process of learning how to meditate or advancing in your meditation levels is really important. I would also stress the fact that if you have distractions while you're meditating and if your thoughts keep wandering, that is totally normal and fine no matter what level of meditation you're in. So now that we've covered the different types of meditation and elements, would you be interested in knowing and learning about everyday ways that you can implement meditation into your life? I think this is really important because a lot of us tend to get overwhelmed with sitting down and meditating for minutes and sometimes even hours, because there's people that meditate for hours out there because there's just not enough hours in the day and our schedules are busy. So if we are able to implement little bits and pieces of meditation into our lives, it will make it so much easier and achievable. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. And turn on the notifications bell so that you know every time we drop a new video every week. Also, share this episode with anyone you find it helpful across all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or just share the link so that they too get to start on this meditation journey. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Today we're going to talk about the different types and elements of meditation, so you can get started and get back on track. I had to think about it because I know there was something else. I wonder if you can hear the rain. It's like the perfect movie night with all this rain. But first, video.